Uh, Welcome back to this exception handling. So this is part three. So how to handle exceptions. Okay. So see, in previous two videos, I discussed uh, introduction to exception handling and exception hierarchy of the exception. Now I'm discussing about how to handle exceptions. Okay. So here, if you want to handle exceptions, okay, we have two two blocks. First one is try block and second one is catch block. Okay, so by using these two, this try and catch block both collectively called a try catch construction. Okay, try catch construction. So by using this try catch construction, so we can handle what we are able to handle the exceptions in Java. Okay, yeah. So now let me discuss with an example. Okay, so very basic example I will discuss here. Uh, See here, int a comma b comma c. So I'm taking three variables, and what I will do is I will remove unused input a comma b comma c. Yeah. Now what I will do is I'm creating an object for scanner class. Okay, so I want to take input from keyboard. Okay. So this is the way. Okay. Sorry. This is the way to create object of system class. Sorry, scanner class. Yeah. Now I want to read A and B values. Int A is equal to SC dot. Next int of is a method to read input. Which input? Integer input. SC dot. Next int of. I'm reading two integers. One I'm storing in A and one I'm storing in B. A is equal to A divided by B. See, and C value. Okay, so now here, okay, now your programming is waiting for the input. A is equal to 10, B is 2. See, you are getting output as well. But here you are, okay, giving valid input, right? Valid input. You are not giving B value as 0. Even you can give A value as 0, which is fine. 0 by something is 0, right? 0, 10. Okay, so simply it is giving 0. But what happen whenever you give b value as 0, 10, 0? See, exception in thread main java.lang.arithmetic exception colon divide by 0. Here there may be chance of getting arithmetic exception, but here your compiler won't force you to handle this arithmetic exception at the time of compilation. Why? Because this is unchecked exception. Okay, this is unchecked exception. Now, okay, now as a programmer, okay, so this is the exception we may get whenever we give the value of denominator b is 0, right? Now you may give this application to the end user. Okay, so there are no errors in your program. Okay, now he is going to execute this program, but he may give b value as 0. Then he will get this system defined error message. But as a developer, you know these details, but end user don't know, right? So in this case, you need to handle this exception, right? So now you can use this try catch construction. Okay. So what a try block contains? Okay. What a try block contains? Here, the exception may rise at line number 9, right? Okay. See here. Okay. So here you are getting, one second, let me execute this program. So 10 and 0 at line number 8. Here you are able to, you may get exception, right? So now I will consider this, what this line as problematic code. Now put this problematic code in try. Okay. So in try block, you can put a problematic code. So your try block should contain the problematic code. Okay. This problematic code you can put within the, okay, within the try block. Okay. Now write corresponding catch. What this catch block contains. Already you executed this program. There may be chance of getting arithmetic exception, right? So simply copy this. Okay. Paste here and write E here and this out of E. And now you are handling, okay, this what java.lang arithmetic exception. Okay, you are not forwarding your exception to the JVM. Now you are handling, okay, you are handling exception, okay, here. Okay, yeah, now what happens? See, okay. Instead of if you display E here, okay, what happened? You can see. Okay, you can see here. I'm giving 18, A value, B value as 0. See, it is giving name of the exception and string associated with the exception. Okay, so this is the exception class name and this is the exception name, string associated with the name. Okay, string associated with the exception class. So this is exception name and this is exception class name. Okay, exception class name is arithmetic exception and exception name is divide by 0. Okay, now this is also, okay, not understood by the what end user. Okay, now what I will do is instead of displaying this what E, okay, so please do not enter. Okay, so please do not enter, okay, B value as 0. Okay, B value as 0. Now see what happened. Now see here 10 I'm giving, 5 I'm giving. In this case, okay, everything is fine, right? Then there is no chance of getting an exception. Why? Because you given both are valid inputs. You are getting to now give 10 and 0. See now what happened. See, please do not enter B value as 0. Okay, here you are getting exception, right? Immediately your JVM will come into the picture and it is checking whether you handle the exception in your program or not. If it is, then it won't display whatever the message prepared by the JVM. Now immediately it will come out from the your JVM, okay, your control, come out from the try block, and it is checking for the corresponding catch block. Corresponding catch block means here the type of exception which is raised is arithmetic exception. Whether you return catch block with that exception or not. The catch block which is handling arithmetic exception or not, it will check. If it is, immediately it will execute, okay, the statements which you have written in the catch block. Okay, this catch block is associated with the arithmetic exception. Okay, like this you can write, okay, like this you can write any number of catch blocks, okay, associated with a single try block. Okay, so single try block can associated with any number of catch blocks. Okay, so here the arithmetic exception you have handled, but here you have one more type of exception. Okay, here you have one more type of exception. So I'll tell you what is that exception. See, now it is waiting for the value, right? Yeah. Now instead of 10, okay, 10, okay, mistakenly I given, instead of 0 I'm giving O. See, so as a human being we may behave like that sometimes, right? Yeah, now you got what java.util.input mismatch exception. Why? Because here, okay, sc.nextInt of it is expecting to enter what integer, but you entered what you entered 10, means here what character and integer. This combination is what different combination, right? So this will be treated as string. So you cannot store string value in A, right? So now you will get what input mismatch exception. Actually, sc.nextIntOf is expecting integer value, but you entered string. Okay, in this case, you will get input mismatch exception. See, here you may get input mismatch exception here or here, right? Simply, okay, add these two statements also in, right? Okay, now try to execute the program. Yeah, now one dot. See, even you put both in try block. Okay, why it is giving this entire thing? Why? Because you not handle, even you put these two problematic statements in try block, but you did not return what corresponding catch block, okay, for input mismatch exception. Okay, input mismatch exception. See here, okay, arithmetic exception E. Okay, here exception is raised at this line, but this is not type of arithmetic exception. It is type of what input mismatch exception. Okay, so that's why you need to add one more catch block with input mismatch exception. Okay, so input mismatch exception. Okay, input mismatch exception. Yeah, here change the user friendly error message. Okay, user can easily understand. Okay, please check your input. Okay, please check your input. Okay, and input should be number. Okay, input should be a number. Okay, input should be a number. That's it. Now, okay, 10 I'm giving correct. Now, b value I'm giving as what 12 dot. See, now at this line, you will get what input mismatch exception. Immediately control will, okay, now JVM what come into the picture, and it is going to check whether you have handled what this exception or not. First it will identify the what input mismatch exception, and it is going to search for the corresponding catch block. Okay, so if it is not there, then it is going to prepare its own input mismatch exception detail. Okay, but here it is there. So simply it is going to, instead of throwing the details, simply it is going to execute the catch block which is handling the input mismatch exception. Okay, now here you handle two types of exceptions. First one is arithmetic exception, and second one is what input mismatch exception. Arithmetic and the input mismatch exception, both exceptions you handled. Okay, and here, okay, so 10.0. See, 10.0 here actually it is expecting integer, but you given double. So in this case also, okay, it won't accept. Okay, it won't accept. So like this, you can handle the exception. Simply put what whatever the problematic, okay, code you have in your program, and write corresponding what catch blocks. Okay, so your catch block should be able to handle only a single exception. Okay, so you should handle all exceptions separately using different catch blocks like this. Or suppose sometimes you are not able to identify the type of exception, right? In this case, put entire, okay, code in try block. Okay, nothing will happen. Okay, nothing will happen. And you may add catch, okay, catch exception here. Okay, exception E, sys out, okay, E, sys out. So here, okay, now you should add this catch exception A at the end. Why? Because if you write this one, exception is the base class for all classes. No, so it can, okay, handle any type of exception here itself. Okay, here itself it can handle all type of exceptions here itself. So now these are what treated as unreachable. Okay, these are unreachable. Why? Because already this exception is handling all type of exception. Then why you need to why you are writing these exceptions here? You don't need to handle after the exception class. So first handle whatever the exceptions you know. Okay, you know. Okay, first later add this what exception at last. Okay, apart from these two exceptions, if there is any other exception occurred, then it will take care. Then it will take care. Even see here, if you write, if you repeat this, okay, catch of arithmetic exception, you will get error. Why? Because already you are handling this arithmetic exception here. Why you are writing one more time? So this is what unreachable. Okay, no need to write again. See, unreachable catch block for arithmetic exception. It is already handled by the catch block for arithmetic. You no need to write. Okay. So here, if you write catch block here, catch of exception here, okay. After that, you should not write any exception. Why? Because here, okay, exception by default, what? By default base class for all classes. So it will take care of all the exceptions. You no need to write any exception after the catch block which is handling the exception class. Okay, so this is what how to handle exceptions. Simply put, whatever the problematic code you have in your program in try block, and write all corresponding catch blocks, okay, separately. Okay, so thanks everyone, and in next video I will discuss what rethrowing of exception. Okay, rethrowing of exception.